Okay, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to test the new BGT Brava driver shaft versus Ian, your gamer. You're using the Kai'Li Blue 60TX. Thoughts on the Kai'Li Blue so far? It's new, we've had it for a couple weeks.
I like it, it complements the head I'm playing nicely right now. You know, it's not the normal bend profile shaft I would normally play, but I think by the time we air this video, we can talk a little bit about Kai'Li Blue and that it has a lot of the tightness of the white, but the feel of the blue, and that inherently has been something Mitsubishi have always tried to accomplish. The blue has always been the signature profile, but the white being the most stable that they've had in their line, as people know. So I have been testing this, but keen to try it against the Brava because the Tensei was one of the shafts in BGT's testing that we obviously could see in their website. So seeing these two side by side will be very interesting to see if there's a little bit more horsepower with the BGT shaft.
I mean, like we know from the other video, bold claims that BGT's making, but again, we've had this now for a couple weeks. You've been using it, some interesting numbers with it. I mean, I've hit it. There's definitely something there for sure.
Yeah, it definitely allows you with the weight of it, 54 grams. I mean, this is in the high 60s, so that alone and the half-inch extra length, that's going to provide you with a little bit more speed. You know, should you be able to sync it up? But the question is, at what sacrifice, at what cost? Is it, you know, is it all over the place? But with you know, these guys obviously specialising in stability shafts, whether it be the zone shaft or whether it be the putter shaft, we're expecting it to be pretty darn good and impressive from a dispersion standpoint as well. I mean, I know you found it was pretty good when you tested it against the Autoflex in your test, Mikey. It turned out the Autoflex was actually probably a little better for you in that particular test. But I'm definitely keen to see how this goes.
Interesting. So we'll get some baseline with yours.
Okay.
Sounded good.
Yeah, that was decent. Yeah, I mean, that's, in all honesty, that is as good as it's going to get with this thing.
Very stock for you.
161 ball, good launch, good spin, good peak height. That's it. That's literally as good as it's going to get.
Super efficient.
Pretty similar, maybe a hair lower in the head with this strike, but I wouldn't be upset with it.
If you're not playing a bunch, your didn't driver good.
Not too bad.
What do you look for when you're playing a driver shaft? Is there a certain feel that you always want to create?
I don't like it to feel like it's too stiff to the point where it's just too much and I can't feel anything. Yeah. But I also don't like it to feel like it's like Autoflex for me. I couldn't time that up really all that well. And I also shaped Autoflex an awful lot. So I tended to strike it quite a bit more in the toe. For me, it has to feel kind of, that's why when I heard the story behind Kai'Li Blue, lots of the white characteristics in it with the feel of the blue, great. That's nice exactly what I'm looking for.
Swing.
And that's pretty stock there, Mikey. I mean, that's kind of what I would expect to see on a pretty decent one.
Yeah.
That was a better strike. A little higher up. Yeah, that's the miss for sure. A little bit toey, a little hooky. Lose the carry. You can leave that in. We can leave that in. Don't mind. Not a bad thing to show the miss as well.
A little low.
It felt okay. Felt okay. Just open face, I think.
No real massive miss with this driver.
Not too bad. Okay, I'll do.
It's a good strike. 320, little cut.
Yeah, I mean, speed numbers is kind of where I would expect to see Mikey. It's higher, fairly high launch and decent on the spin from a distance perspective. Where's that club delivery numbers? Yeah, so like 4 and a bit up, 2 and a bit into out.
The nice thing is it's very protective against, like, there's no dramatic miss. You know what I mean? Even if you strike it a little bit, your left and right is not putting you in trouble.
No, it's the left is a toe strike, the right is a slightly open-faced push cut.
But it's still launching high and spinning low enough to get you the distance.
Okay, let's take a little peek at BGT.
Okay, Fraz, BGT Brava, 54 grams, 46 inches, same setting as your current driver.
Yep. I mean, I think we can see by my own driver on that last set, Mikey, it's not like I'm that straight with it.
Yeah.
It's not terrible, but it's not like I'm that straight with it. Going a little bit longer, that's why I do go a little bit longer, is because I'm not super straight anyway.
Right.
I can hit it, you know, reasonably consistent on a good day, and I can get a little crooked on a bad day. That's the nature of me off the tee, which is why I do always lean towards, well, if I can get a little bit more speed, why not just take that? It's not like I'm Daniel Dart with a Kai'Li 60X versus something lighter and a little soft, a little short, lighter and a little longer.
And with the stable claims that, you know, they're making if it works.
Totally, right up my street. Didn't quite get it. Felt a little bit thin, but quicker.
Good first tee miss.
Yep.
A little low in the head.
Yep, take that all day long.
Good swing. Definitely a nice shape off this driver. Definitely quicker. Good swing.
Almost identical to shot number one, Mikey. It was
Yeah.
it was thin. Yeah, it's kind of like it's similar to the Kai'Li, but it's 10 yards longer. That's what it looks like. Like a thin one with the Kai'Li was 275 in there. That's 285 in there. 161 ball speed versus 165 ball speed. It's quite similar without the big miss. Now it doesn't have obviously the high launch, low spin.
Yeah, that launch has come down quite a bit. And it's a dispersion killer. I mean, it's a lot more consistent.
Yeah. Lost the speed, but got the launch and spin.
Yeah. It wasn't fast, but even if you lose a couple miles an hour, it still goes.
It does.
A little tuggy, but it's very in play. There's no issues with that whatsoever.
No. Okay, so as you'd expect, a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Club head speed jumped 2 miles an hour, but everything else was very, very similar.
Same.
Yeah, and I think that's when, in the Bay, when we're deciding whether we actually want to give someone more length on their driver shaft, we kind of want to make sure that we aren't going to compromise their swing, and the numbers kind of do behave like this. This is a scenario where, yeah, that's why I can use a little bit of a longer driver shaft, because it doesn't really do anything in a negative sense. Let's look at the numbers. So it was, a little bit tighter in the dispersion. Carried it a little bit more, and there wasn't much gain in terms of the distance, but I definitely would take the 165 ball speed over the 161.
Even on that low miss, the odd time you had with the Brava, I mean, your ball speed, if it dropped down into like 162, 161, you weren't sacrificing anything.
Definitely. For those of you who've followed the channel for a while, 2 years ago, I think it was, I played, or maybe last year, I played Tensei 1K50 X.
TX.
Well, I think I had the X. I ended up giving the TX to Scott Cowkes, and that's what this reminded me of a little bit. It was still quite stable. It didn't feel too soft, to be honest. It didn't feel like it, even though it's not an X, it's a stiff. It didn't feel, way too soft for me at all. So, yeah, I'd definitely be keen to experiment with it a little bit more. I'd probably like to build one a hair shorter. And see how that goes. The half inch, if I can take the weight away. For some reason right now, I prefer the weight of something high 50s rather than something high 60s.
High 60s, yeah.
Just the way my swing is a little bit right now. But
I mean, for customers coming through the door, if they can control strike, consistently, look at the dispersion. It's huge.
I do think there's more people that would gravitate towards this than a lighter, softer, if you want to call it Autoflex type shaft.
For sure.
I think Autoflex is definitely something that if you have tried and found that it was a little bit too soft for you, the experiment should not be pushed to the one side, you should give something like this a little try with the Brava. I definitely think there's more people will enjoy the feel of this
Definitely.
one. Yeah, there's nothing I don't like about that 12.8 launch, 2200 spin. It's a little bit more in the window that I'm looking to see anyway. I did feel that, no, I don't want to call it I was artificially long with the Kai'Li, but I mean, if you're going to hit at a decent distance, you probably want it to be around 13 and 2000.
Yeah.
You're maxing that out, aren't you? With good efficiency. So, yeah, something in it.
Yeah, I don't think this is the last test with it. There's more to come for sure with this. It's impressive. It's very good.
Yeah, keen to see how this continues, guys, and it's going in our wall, I believe. I think we've ordered some for our wall. So, you know, those of you joining us for fittings over the next few months, it'll definitely be, you know, in the bay, available to try.
Definitely.
Good stuff. Okay, guys, stay tuned for more. We'll see you again soon.